historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. Today, it's an AFC North matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jackson, first play, going to throw. And his first pass is incomplete. Well, kind of a quirk in the schedule. These two division rivals didn't see each other much of the year. Their first meeting was just a few weeks ago, back in Week 14. And it was the Ravens getting the road victory in that one. So now they'll look to finish off the season sweep here in Baltimore. To throw on 2nd and 10. Jackson. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Ravens had 10-5 to start play. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Jackson will throw again. And this is incomplete. Not the warmest starts throwing the football. He was 1 for 3, now 1 for 4 on the opening drive.
So getting him comfortable is the key. And for him, it might be different than what we think is comfortable. We're probably thinking swing passes, easy checkdowns. Some guys, they're better off throwing it downfield. That's what really loosens them up.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
Fourth down, here's Jackson. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the Steelers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted But it winds up falling incomplete. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing Jones. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as he'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the 1st down.
They're going to try and throw. Able to find his man. It's Pickens. And he is going to have the Steelers' 1st down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. Now a first, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. Down the numbers. There he goes. He's at the 30. 10, 5. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. Backbreaker, that'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Adolphe always showing off the pass rush skills.
So we recount real quick. He had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to get amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. He's got it to the 43 here.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They go play action with Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with prior to the game. They always say, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd down, McFarland. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now Jones. That's caught by the 6'8" tight end, Zach Gentry. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
They go play action here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. A give up the middle to McFarland. Has strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played. Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
To throw on 3rd down, Jones. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
How about the challenge we're seeing here in this game early? Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 4th down, Jones. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Pass on the crossing route is complete. This is Andrews. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. To throw again is Jackson. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers will take over here just shy of the 30.
Well, Brent, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. On first down, they'll start with McFarland. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. Throwing is Jackson. Rolling to his right. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Andrews. And the Ravens are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
That is definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Lamar Jackson scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Ravens have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 21-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
McFarland once more. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Off the play fake. Jones. Rush coming, and he's taken down. David Ojabo. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Our first update now comes from Atlanta. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now Jackson on first down. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 41. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. David Ojabo able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Here's Jones, throwing on 3rd and long. The throw for Claypool is intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable, or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He gets this underneath to Dobbins. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Go ahead. Hey.
Jackson. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
On 2nd and 15 now. Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. James Prochet as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens will extend their lead here just before halftime. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw. Jones. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd and long. Jones. He's got a man. Complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Chase Claypool with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers come right out of the locker room and score here the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And down to the 41.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Here's Fuller with a catch. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 13-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Got a man, it's caught. For a Ravens touchdown. Tony Pollard from 13 yards out as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one.
And now off to the races down the right side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Anthony McFarland, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers get a bit closer. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. Jackson now. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Jackson on first down. And this will be incomplete.
And the end result of that play, you're almost not sure what you really want, because when he gets outside of the pocket, you actually hold your breath because you think he's going to run for big yardage. But when he chose to pull it down and throw it, and a play was made to knock it away, that's a pretty good end result. Not one you expected when the play began.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
No, we changed it.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Throwing on second down, Jones. Throw left side, taken in by Claypool. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted.
Jones hit and the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Back to throw. Jones. Open man completes it to Claypool. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Straight ahead running. Here's McFarland. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. An inside handoff. This is McFarland. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. Throwing Jones. And that is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Throwing now. Jackson on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a 1st down. An option handoff here to Dobbins. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle. And the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Jackson. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete.
The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line.
92 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Again, McFarland. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Looking to throw. Jones. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Odafe Oweh picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Oh, and Jones has just thrown his third interception. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Devin Duvernay, 32 yards. And the Ravens are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth-quarter advantage. Tucker with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as he just held on to that big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted ruins, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Big Calais Campbell fighting through to make the play in the backfield. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Now Jones. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. David Ojabo. My goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Back to throw. Joe, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. Past the 20. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. They give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice you're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
On second and very short, Jones. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. On the give, this is McFarland. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he is going to have a Ravens first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. Well, he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
They'll go option to the short side. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down. And what are the whistles for? A timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it.
And the Steelers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the status